And so the decision was made of what if you could start over? What if you could have a clean foundation and you could very thoughtfully construct this platform where you put advisor independence at the core and the nucleus, and you derive all of the services and all of the experiences for advisors with this touchstone back to the core, which is, will this help you grow your business? Will this help you deepen your client relationships? Will this ultimately result in you building enterprise value on your own personal balance sheet?
Come on in, sit back and relax. You're listening to episode 197 of the Wealth Tech Today podcast. I'm your host, Craig Iskowitz, founder of Ezra Group Consulting. And this podcast features interviews, news, and analysis all about the trends and best practices around wealth management technology. My guest for this episode is Shannon Spotswood from RFG Advisory. I love Shannon. I've known her for a while. She is a 25-year industry veteran in financial services with an outstanding reputation built on leadership roles in professional management, investment banking, hedge fund management, and business development. At RFG Advisory, Shannon oversees all aspects of RFG, a fully integrated platform designed for independent financial advisors and the implementation of strategic initiatives contributing to advisor success. She joined RFG Advisory in 2015 because she recognized the opportunity to combine her entrepreneurial experience with her passion to build an innovative, advisor-focused RIA of the future. One thing I've always admired about Shannon is her career is characterized by a blend of leadership, vision, and grit. Before joining RFG, she spent 20 years working in San Francisco, which is an accomplishment all in its own right. But she was an investment banker, hedge fund portfolio manager, and an entrepreneur. She worked 10 years at an asset manager, a Symphony Asset Management, an $18 billion hedge fund, where she spent 6 years as the portfolio manager of a long-short equity hedge fund. In an industry marked by accelerated change and disruption, Shannon is a standout. She's a frequent speaker at conferences, podcasts, and industry events on strategic execution, operational excellence, technology, and best practices on leading, recruiting, and mentoring next-gen talent and financial advisors. Now, here's something I didn't know about Shannon, but I found out from her bio. She also has experience working in startups, having built a luxury children's clothing brand called Busy Bees, cool name, from the ground up. With her partner, she grew the business from inside their garage to a successful nationwide brand, featured in Vogue magazine, and carried in more than 150 stores and online. So before I jump into the interview, there's a lot of good stuff. We covered a lot of ground. I'm going to read a quick promo. I have a message for you. If you are the executive at a broker-dealer, enterprise RIA, family office, or a TAMP, your tech debt is holding you back. Your old software platforms are rusty and falling apart, and they need a complete overhaul or to be replaced entirely. Your disparate systems don't communicate with each other, and is driving your ops staff and advisors crazy with manual processes and other errors. If this describes your company and your tech infrastructure, you should run, not walk to our website, EzraGroupLLC.com, and fill out the Contact Us form on the homepage. Our experienced team can evaluate your technology ecosystem, deliver targeted recommendations, optimize your existing systems and operations, or run an RFP RFI and help you implement new software to help take your firm to the next level. And a few quick housekeeping notes before we continue. We at Ezra Group support a number of nonprofit organizations that do fantastic work for a variety of causes. One you should check out is the Invest in Others Foundation, which you can learn more about at investinothers.org. Please subscribe to this show wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss an episode. And now, let's kick this thing off. I'm excited to welcome our next guest. It is Shannon Spotswood, president of RFG Advisors. Shannon, welcome to the program. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Craig. I'm fired up for our conversation.
I'm fired up too. Where are you calling from?
Birmingham, Alabama, the global HQ of RFG Advisory.
All right. That's what we like to hear. And you just got back to the States. Welcome back to the U.S. from your vacation. How do you feel?
Oh my gosh. It was the trip of a lifetime. We took our three children. So my kids are 18, 16, and 15 for their first time in Europe. So 2 nights in Amsterdam, 3 nights in Paris, 3 nights in Rome, and 4 nights in Capri to end the world tour. And it's a great reminder about the importance of prioritizing our time and creating memories like that over things, experiences over things, because it was magical.
It's a great way to look at life, and too many people don't do that and try to get away from with your family at this time, because they'll be gone soon, right? All your kids.
I know.
So getting them now and getting some quality time where they're just focused on you is we can do a whole work-life balance podcast, but that'll
be part 2, Craig. That'll be part 2.
Part 2, we'll bring you back. We'll do part 2. But for this part, let's start with the 30-second elevator pitch for RFG.
Absolutely. RFG is a platform for independent financial advisors that differentiates itself by delivering a truly focused mission around independence. So we help advisors to build their own enterprise value on their personal balance sheet. And we surround them with all the resources that they need to do that: the technology, the talent, the marketing and branding, compliance, operations, coaching, and really, most importantly, a community of like-minded individuals who are obsessed with getting 1% better every day.
Where did I see that? I was at a conference. That's from a book, isn't it? The 1%, getting 1% better every day.
Well, you were probably talking to me, Craig.
Yes, well, I was talking to you, Shannon, but I completely forgot it was you. No, it wasn't you. It was somebody. There was an author. I'm gonna look it up. Or he was in his book. He was talking about to have 1% better per day. At the end of the year, you're X million % better, right? Just a little bit at a time.
It's a really interesting way to orient your day in, day out, especially as you're building and scaling a team and building and scaling a company. What really sets RFG apart is we were founded actually 20 years ago, and 7 years ago, I partnered with the founder, Bobby White, and our third partner, Rick Waddell, who's our chief investment officer, joined us 1 year later. And we partnered with a mission to tear the entire 1.0 version of RFG down and rebuild a new house on the same lot, RFG 2.0. And when you go through that journey, he had already built a successful firm, but recognized that it wasn't positioned to be able to deliver for advisors and clients the experience that they were going to need to not only disrupt the industry, but to have multi-generational impact. And you could very thoughtfully construct this platform where you put advisor independence at the core and the nucleus, and you derive all of the services and all of the experiences for advisors with this touchstone back to the core, which is, will this help you grow your business? Will this help you deepen your client relationships? Will this ultimately result in you building enterprise value on your own personal balance sheet? Moving the company from being predominantly brokerage to advisory as we were becoming multi-custodial, as we were building the fully integrated tech stack. We heard more often than not, it can't be done. It's too hard. It's too disruptive. It's too much change. You're, bound to fail. And against those odds and against that, I would say, consensus opinion that it was impossible, you have to get really clear-eyed around what are your values. And we settled on a couple different things. The first one was that we were going to be a service company first, a technology company second, and an RIA platform third. The second core tenet was that we were going to wake up every day with a servant heart and a warrior mindset. And the way that we were going to go about living to that ethos was this concept of get 1% better every day. If you hold yourself to that mindset standard, and you recognize, of course, we're going to set, short-term goals, long-term goals. Of course, we're going to be executing along the way on the strategic vision. But when you break it down into this it's like working out. If you say to someone, all right, tomorrow you have to run a marathon, you can't do it. But if you say a year from now you have to run a marathon, and every day you're going to run a little bit more, and you're going to do core workouts, and you're going to do the lower body, upper body workouts that you have to get there, then it's not only achievable, you can have tremendous success in doing that. And so that was the idea of, if we were going to embark on this disruptive journey of change, and we're going to be committed to serving the advisors of the future, and we're going to hold ourselves to becoming 1% better every day, it gave us a common language. And it also gave us a rally cry for our advisor partners, as well as for our, amazing team that feels really energized by that mission.
I love that. That's an awesome way to run a business. And I've read, speaking of running a business, that RFG prides itself on being a service company first, a technology company second, and a hybrid RIA third. Can you explain this ordering and how it resonates with advisors?
I think one of the biggest conundrums in the industry is that the word culture is very easy to toss around. And of course, everyone wants to have a culture that rewards hard work, a culture that inspires your team members and your clients to be aligned, a culture that reflects your values, a culture that is motivating, that is exciting, that is vibrant, that is really living intentionally with purpose. And for us, as we went on this journey for change, we said, there's always going to be a firm that's bigger than us. There's always going to be a firm that has deeper pockets than us, that can write bigger checks than us. But what is one thing that cannot be competed away, that cannot be disintermediated? And that is your culture. But if you're really going to show up and walk the walk on a culture, we wanted it to be around this servant heart warrior mindset. So for us, when we said we're a service company first, that's what it means. And it means every single team member at RFG walks in the door with one goal and one goal only: take care of each other first, and then take care of our clients. Like, live in this world where you are called to deliver an exceptional experience to advisors. And I feel like as the industry is going through this tremendous change, and we're sitting in the grips of this generational wealth transfer and all the various factors that are shaping where we are, it's easy for firms to say, like, yep, we're going to differentiate ourselves on culture and we're going to differentiate ourselves on service. But it's actually incredibly difficult to deliver, especially at scale, because it not only requires that you have this like guideposts up around your mindset for how you're hiring to your team and how you're problem solving and how you're showing up in meetings and how you're receiving feedback, both positive and negative, but it also requires that you really love what you do. And that, I really feel, is like the future of work. Like the one thing that the pandemic has shown us is, yes, we can be successful in a hybrid work environment, but more importantly, people are not going to grind it out for you, 40 days a week, 50 weeks a year, or 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, without feeling like this deep tie and connection that the work that they're doing has value and is making an impact. So for us, like, being a service company first was like a non-negotiable. And the way that we walk the walk on this, it's like, show me your legal documents and I'll show you the truth. So for us, when advisors partner with RFG, our agreement explicitly states you own your brand name, which we're going to help you create. You own your website, which we're going to help you create. You own your client relationships. You own your data. Give us 30 days to help you transition so it minimizes the disruption to your practice and to your clients' lives. and we will help you be successful wherever you choose to leave us. And so if you remove contractual clause from your relationship, you are virtually like standing naked in the desert, having to deliver on your promise of service. So that for us was like, not only are we going to define service with a very clear eye around the amplification of independence and enterprise value for advisors, and we're going to do it through this warrior mindset. We're going to do it through the servant heart. We're going to do it through getting 1% better every day. We're going to take away the safety net and really have to live that ethos. So that's number one. Be a tech company second was, what I would call a non-negotiable out of the gate. If you're going to define what the future of this industry looks like, you have got to deliver a seamless, fully integrated, as friction-free experience as you can. And it's not, you're living and breathing this every day. This is your area of expertise. It's very, easy, air quotes, to have all the custodial relationships, to have all the fintech solutions, to be able to turn that all on. It is incredibly difficult to actually deliver it in a way to advisors that helps them to deepen that client relationship and maximize their entrepreneurial growth ambition. So for us, being a technology company second means not only delivering a fully integrated tech stack that checks those boxes around client experience and advisor practice growth, but it also means we're going to help you build workflows. We're going to help you with your marketing. We're going to help you with all your desktop support needs. We're going to deliver to you an ever evolving state-of-the-art solution that is designed with the advisor in mind. Like, it can't be a vanity project, and it can't just be we're turning this stuff on, or here's the best price we've negotiated. It has to really be a discrete, intentional experience that is checking every single facet of the work, the important work that advisors do. So that's, technology company second. And then the order was really important, because really at the core, we are a platform for independent advisors. So if you ask most firms, they'd say, who are you? RFG, we're an RIA. That doesn't mean anything. Like, we're a service company first. We're a technology company second. What we do is third. It's a platform delivered for independent advisors. And those, I wish for everyone that they could experience that valley, that very deep valley, those long nights staring at, the cold black ceiling when you tear a company down and you rebuild it from the ground floor up, because it gives you such clarity around what is your mission, vision, values.
Let me just take a quick break from this interview to talk about the Invest in Others Charitable Foundation. I'm fortunate enough to be participating in this charitable organization, and they give me the honor of every year helping to judge some of the charities that are going to be awarded money. And you can get money for your charity if you are a financial advisor or an advisory firm. And you can also participate in a program that Invest in Others is running called the Charitable Champions. This recognizes financial advisory firms that give back to their communities. Let me just read a little bit. This is on their website, investinothers.org. The Charitable Champions recognizes financial advisory firms that give back to their communities by promoting a culture of philanthropy amongst their financial advisors and staff. You can submit your firm name to the organization. The application is already open. The deadline is July 7th, and the winners will be announced August 16th. Submissions will be evaluated blindly by a panel of advisors based on criteria including leadership and culture, events and activities, incentives, contributions, and impact. Now, I'm not a judge on this. I judge usually advisor charities, and it's very difficult to do that kind of judging, because they give us 10 charities with 10 advisors, and we have to decide which advisor gave the most back to their charity and helped them the most. It's really tough, but all the money is going to a great cause. So please go to investinothers.org, and if you are running a financial advisory firm, sign up for the Charitable Champions list. It does. And I like how you said you're helping advisors maximize their entrepreneurial growth ambitions. That's perfect. I think that would definitely resonate with advisors.
Well, we are, it is, I think, why we, the collective we of our industry are so energized, especially at this moment in time, about what advisors can do, how they can serve clients, and the greater good impact that we are having on this, massive disruption that's coming from this generational wealth transfer. Like, one of the things I love and why I went from the institutional side of the business as a hedge fund manager and as an investment banker over to RFG and on the retail wealth management side is that this is a industry of entrepreneurs, and RFG, especially as we look towards the future and the services that we're delivering and the bench strength and the team that we're building to serve advisors, we're obsessed with that entrepreneurial ambition, because that is where we're going to be able to help the most people, and we're going to be able to really define what it means to have a relationship with a financial advisor. There's no doubt that working with a financial advisor for, a Gen X, a Gen Y, even a Gen Z is going to look radically different than what it looked like for the baby boomers. And we are at our heart, like, we're entrepreneurs. So when you get to identify with advisors as entrepreneur to entrepreneur, you have ambitions, you have growth, you have ideas around innovation and disruption, you have service offerings. Like, when you start to align yourselves as like equal partners on that entrepreneurial journey, it helps you to think differently as you're building a platform of what you want to really deliver.
RFG Advisory delivers a turnkey integrated platform that provides advisors all the tools and resources they need to be the CEO of their practice. So how does your platform deliver on this? What is included in that, and how is it differentiated from other firms?
What I would say is most important about that turn of phrase, be the CEO of your practice, not the COO, is time. So we've seen tons of data, and Craig, I know you tap into this data all the time, that advisors, despite all this fintech, despite all of the innovative change in our industry, still spend about 80% of their time on non-revenue generating activities. They still spend a disproportionate amount of their time on things that are not going to deepen their client relationships and are not going to translate into growth in their practice. And we are on a mission to change that. The advisor has an innate superpower, and that is really their ability to connect with people. So they should be spending all of their time in deepening those relationships and growing their firms. And the team member that surrounds them, their false multiplier force should be helping the advisor to do that. So say, be the CEO of your practice, not the COO. Plug into the RFG platform. Let us be the experts in the room on technology. Let us be the experts in the room on marketing and branding strategies, on operations, on compliance, on coaching. And you really get to sit in that seat and spend your, show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities. You get to spend your time where your priorities should be, which is doing what you do best and why every advisor got into this business in the first place, which is helping people. So that is, what we do. And what's interesting about it is I feel like the industry is very crowded, right? There are a lot of firms that are talking and using the same language that RFG is using around a platform, turnkey solutions, technology, culture, all the rest of it. But show me how you're innovating in each one of those. And I'll give you a couple examples. One of the biggest problems that we identified, this is about 3 years ago, was around the ability to implement technological change, was being hamstrung by, you had disparate desktop setups. So you had any number of devices out there and different hardware configuration. Advisors and their team were burning time trying to fix their desktop printer, or their, email isn't working, whatever. And we realized that we were never going to be able to deliver at scale a fully integrated, high functioning technology solution if we didn't, quote, own the last mile, right? You got to own the last mile. So we did device standardization across the entire firm, moved everything into the cloud, and built an in-house MSP. So an in-house, service provider to handle all of your technology needs. What that allows us to do is our tech team is comprised of expert consultants that help advisors to design workflows to maximize the growth of their practice. And they're supported by this IT team that's worrying about the cyber risks, that's worrying about the hardware. If your computer breaks, you give us a ring. We have a hot spare on your doorstep in 24 hours, and you're not missing a beat. So it's little things like that. Something that was even bigger in terms of how are you really walking the walk of showing up with the platform is if you spend any time talking with advisors, you're going to, within 5 minutes, start to hear what has really interestingly been flagged in the most recent Schwab survey data as the number one pain point, and that's talent. For as long as Schwab has been doing their benchmarking survey, the number one problem for advisors was new clients. Now it's talent. And we all who are sitting on the front lines of building these high-performing teams feel that strain and that pressure to be able to attract the best and the brightest to partner alongside you to execute on your vision. So we created RFG Assist. And what that is basically a talent agency within RFG where we help advisors. We do all the interviewing, we do the training, we do the career mapping, we do build intentional communities, we do all the coaching, and then we lease back that talent in fractional share allocations to the advisors. So they have this incredible force multiplying resource that is supporting them, and you're taking off of their plate all of those things that advisors aren't good at and burn a ton of their energy, which is HR issues, hiring, training, bonuses, healthcare benefits, and kind of the biggest conundrum they run into, which is how do I design a career path for this individual who is immensely instrumental? So it's taking this model of delivering these table stakes services, technology, operations, coaching, investment management, compliance, and really taking it to the next level through, again, that lens of service.
All that is awesome. And I know a lot of that is built on some pretty robust technology. Can you talk a bit about the vendors in your tech stack in this turnkey platform? Maybe we'll start with the core platform and talk about why you selected them and what do you like about them.
So I think we have best of breed of what's out there. So Orion Risk, which used to be Hidden Levers, Salesforce, Money Guide Pro, eMoney. We built a custom marketing chassis called Pathfinder on top of FMG Suite, FP Alpha. On the investment side, we partnered with SmartX, with Case. We have Pontera for 401k management. We've got fully digitized client paperwork processing tools. We built custom solutions with Precise FP and Laserfish. We're on a mission to standardize down to one phone number for phone, fax, and text with Ring Central. We've got a lot of tech embedded within our compliance team around AI tools for marketing, compliance, regulatory review, 401k rollovers, with Safer, with InvestorCom. So all of this is like fully integrated. We have not made the step into building a data lake, data warehouse. We could have probably podcast number 3, a spirited debate about the future of that, and certainly see it as an exciting frontier. But because from the beginning we said we're going to own a full integration of our tech stack, and we're going to empower our tech team with tech experts and consultants to help advisors know how to leverage the tools that are sitting on top of their desktop. For us, we've been able to really customize and maximize and build on top of this, this cutting edge technology, which I would say is leveraging the just tremendous amount of not only intellectual firepower, but private equity money that has come into the industry that is backing all of these firms. So that's the core of our tech stack. And what makes it differentiated is the white labeling that we've done on top of it and the consulting services. So when an advisor joins us, for example, we're really proud to say that we've been nominated for the 4th year in a row by wealthmanagement.com, the first 3 years for top non-custodial RIA support platform, and this year for their new category of top RIA. And the nomination this year is really highlighting our advisor independence transition tools. And that is fully tech enabled. So we build custom SharePoint sites for advisors, deliver all of their training and coaching, their dynamic Salesforce reports post game day, where they can track every step of the way where their client paperwork is. So it's like taking this core tech stack that is driving the day-to-day, management of their firm and their client relationships and extending it out into absolutely everything they do. And it's all seamlessly integrated. So when you're partnering with RFG and we're building you a website and social media presence, and then we're incorporating into it drip marketing campaigns for clients and for your prospects, all of that is living within this ecosystem.
That sounds comprehensive.
It's the opposite of the Chinese food menu, right?
Right.
I mean, it's the easiest, and especially for me, I love to negotiate. The easiest thing in the world is to go negotiate the best deal and put the options on the Chinese food menu and say, Godspeed, go forth and prosper. But for us, like, we are serving high growth advisors. Our advisors skew young. Our advisors are in their early 40s. We really excel at serving advisors between 30 million and 500 million. So these aren't $1 billion, $2 billion firms. They don't have the bench strength to go hire a CTO to figure out all of this new technology. They can't, begin to develop what we have created. So for us, like, serving these advisors who are growing really quickly, who are young, who represent the future of the industry, they have prioritized how they want to spend their time. And it is not worrying about the table stakes of what our platform can deliver.
What was the biggest hurdle you went through with all these applications and integrating it into I'm giving it away. What were the issues you had with integrating these different applications into one seamless experience?
I mean, Craig, this is why your calendar is as jam-packed as it is with all the consulting work that you do. Everything, right? Integration is really, really hard. Not only do you have to be a visionary for where are you going and how do you show up with these solutions in a way like Salesforce, we could probably make 10 calls right now to people who've used Salesforce, and every single one of them would tell you, I hate it. It doesn't work, because if you're not curating it to be able to deliver specifically to the needs of advisors and their clients, it's a worthless piece of software sitting on your desktop. So integration, to be able to have, the confidence that our advisors can pull up, we like to call it the 90-second client review. You bump into a client at the grocery store, you can pop open your Surface Pro on the hood of your car and run a client review and have confidence that your plan, that your data, that your client portal, that the experience is going to be accurate. That takes a tremendous amount of diligence and a really smart team to be able to deliver that at scale. So I would say, at every step of the way, it's really, really hard. These are not part-time jobs. Like, one of the reasons why we created RFG Assist is that advisors have this expectation that they can kind of look around the room and they have these team members who are really smart and really talented client relationship managers or operations team members, or maybe even someone that they've tapped to be in charge of technology. Well, they're wearing multiple hats just like the advisor is. It's that I'm the COO, I'm chief bottle washer, and I'm closing all the business and everything in between. We're at a place now where the complexity of our industry is going to force advisors, especially those that we're serving, 30 million to 500 million. You can't survive in that world without having a tremendous team behind you that are experts in each one of these fields: compliance, ops, tech, branding, marketing, investment management. So I think that, this is one of the greatest disservices in a way that the proliferation of fintech has done for advisors is they're chasing bright, shiny objects. And in a demo, everything looks easy. It looks easy to integrate. It's two-way API. The data is just going to flow seamlessly. And the reality of it is these are very complex systems to run in a way that actually translates into tangible results, which is my business growing? Are my clients happy? Am I retaining my clients? Would they give me a net promoter score of 9 or 10? And do I actually have a business that has any value? Like, there's a big difference between I have a practice and I have a firm. And if you want to build enterprise value and you want to serve multi-generations and you want to actually have a business, a firm, then you better get clear-eyed on how you're going to allocate your resources. And it can't be chasing every last whim in the technology world.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Shannon. Thank you for that plug on integrations. I much appreciate it. As you know, Ezra Group is all about integrations these days. It's one of our core focuses and our research and our service delivery. But now we've come to the end of this episode, and I'm really happy that we worked out episodes 2 and number 3 for next time. So Shannon, please tell us where people can learn more about RFG Advisory.
rfgadvisory.com. And then I'm on all the socials. LinkedIn is probably my favorite. Shannon Spotswood.
There it is. Thanks so much for being here, Shannon. Talk to you soon. Hey, it's Craig again. Here are my top 3 takeaways from this episode. I really like hearing from RAs about what their tech stack is, what they built, how they built it, why they picked different vendors, and how they put it all together. Interesting mix of technology at RFG. They use Orion for their core platform, portfolio management, reporting, and such. They use Orion's risk tool, which used to be called Hidden Levers. They acquired last year. For CRM, Salesforce, financial planning, Money Guide, and eMoney. Digital marketing, FMG. FP Alpha for estate planning, Precise FP data gathering. Laserfiche for workflow. Pantera, Heldway 401k. Safer, and InvestorCom are compliance. 2, their advisors skew younger. Their average age is in the early 40s, and they have between $30 and $500 million in AUM. And 3rd, their culture. I love how Shannon explained their approach to building a company culture. There's always going to be a firm that's bigger than us. There's always going to be a firm that has deeper pockets and can write bigger checks than us. One thing that cannot be competed away, that cannot be disintermediated, is your culture. And their culture, in a nutshell, take care of each other first, then take care of your clients, and deliver an exceptional experience to advisors. Well, that's a wrap. You made it to the end of another episode of the Wealth Tech Today podcast. Before you go, head over to our website, ezragroup.com, scroll to the bottom of the homepage, and click and subscribe to our newsletter. Once a month, you receive an email chock full of wealth management goodness, news, information, updates. You will not be disappointed. Thanks for listening, and talk to you all again next time.